Welcome back to The Narrative, where we rip apart what mainstream media feeds you and uncover the hidden truth they bury. Breaking. Just hours ago, U.S. forces seized a Russian-flagged oil tanker, the Marinera, formerly Bella 1, in the North Atlantic, after a weeks-long cat-and-mouse chase across the ocean. Corporate media calls it diplomatic complications. This is Trump slamming shut Venezuela's shadow fleet pipeline while Russia scrambles submarines for protection. At minute 8, I'll reveal the White House's non-negotiable demand to Caracas that could lock America into Venezuela's oil for decades. Stay locked. Before we dive in, if you want content like this to break through YouTube's political suppression, smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it. The algorithm buries independent analysis, so your engagement pushes truth into the light. Picture this: freezing North Atlantic darkness, 20-foot waves slamming the deck of the Marinera. You're a Russian crewman gripping the rail, salt spray stinging your face. Radar pings, US P-8 Poseidons circling overhead like vultures. Coast Guard cutters slice through the swells, closing fast. Captain screams into the radio. Flags up. Russian registry, but the transponder lies. It's been Bella 1, then Marinera, dodging Guyana to Russia mid-Atlantic. Helicopters thump closer. Fast ropes hit the deck. M4 rifles sweep the bridge. You wonder, Gitmo? Shallow grave? Or just the end of Putin's Arctic oil lifeline? That's the moment this tanker war turned real. Let's rewind. 2 weeks ago, Marinera loads near Venezuela, part of the Shadow Fleet hauling sanctioned crude from Caracas, Tehran, and Moscow. Marine trackers clock it evading U.S. Coast Guard near Guyana, flipping flags mid-ocean, killing its AIS transponder, aiming for Murmansk's ghost port in Russia's Arctic. Empty of oil? Maybe. But Shadow Fleet playbooks don't lie. Venezuelan crude, name change, Russian flag, India refineries, Chinese factories. That's the terrorism financing pipeline Uncle Sam just snapped shut. U.S. tracked it relentlessly, P-8 surveillance flights for days, UK Royal Navy shadowing from Ireland bases. 2 hours ago, course reversal south. That's when Navy SEALs, Coast Guard, and Special Ops boarded in international waters. Russia lost contact instantly. Transport Ministry confirms seizure. Kremlin erupts. Piracy. State Duma Slutsky screams maritime law violation. Andrei Klishas calls it theft. They sent warships, even submarine whispers, but P-8s and cutters won. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt doesn't blink. Stateless vessel lied about registry. Crew faces sanctions prosecution. This is tanker number 5 since Trump's Venezuela squeeze post-Maduro grab. Homeland Security's Kristi Noem calls boarding crews heroic for storm chases. Marco Rubio says it starves Maduro holdouts and Hezbollah proxies. Did that submarine detail shock you? Hit subscribe now so you catch every escalation. Corporate media obsesses over Russia drama. They miss the oil endgame. CNN sources spill. White House told interim President Delcy Rodriguez the deal. Sever ties with China, Russia, Cuba, Iran. Resume production, but partner exclusively with America. No Beijing refineries, no Moscow shadow fleet. Trump meets Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Exxon Friday to carve up quotas. Chevron holds their 30,000 BPD license. Conoco wants $8 billion expropriation repaid. Exxon eyes Orinoco heavy crude fields. Delcy signs, or Venezuela starves. Shadow Fleet isn't shipping oil. It's shipping power. Venezuela funds Iranian drones via Hezbollah. Russia launders sanctioned crude through Murmansk. China gets cheap heavy oil for factories. One intercepted tanker equals one less proxy missile factory. U.S. lawmakers get classified briefings today. Tanker manifests, Venezuela next steps, Russian retaliation risks. This seizure screams, run dark oil, lose the ship. Why submarines for an empty tanker? Reuters whispers, other cargo. Analysts speculate weapons, tech, maybe North Korean missile components. Unconfirmed, but submarine escort explains itself. Now, U.S. inventories everything. Putin's Arctic lifeline just got strip-searched. Establishment press downplays because admitting Trump's blockade works kills their escalation spin. Russia shadowed, backed off. China fumes over lost 400K BPD lifeline. India scrambles for sanctioned crude. Europe eyes reopened Arctic routes for U.S. LNG instead. 3 more tankers flipped Russian flags off Venezuela. Yak became Integradien. Veronica now Galileo. U.S. promises no safe havens. Lavrov demands crew return, citing sea freedom. Trump keeps honest. Putin talks but draws red lines. Superpower math. Seize the jewels, rivals blink. Russia's response exposes weakness. Submarines versus P-8s, cutters outmaneuver warships. Kremlin roars, fires no shots. Trump rides high post-Maduro. World condemns, does nothing. Superpower rules. Here's what fake news misses completely. Shadow fleet equals global terror bank. 1 tanker equals 50 million sanctioned crude equals Iranian missiles equals Hezbollah bunkers equals Houthi drones. Intercept 5, proxies starve. Trump meeting oil execs isn't greed, it's checkmate. Delcy Rodriguez faces math. Chevron deals or Chinese ghost money. Caracas picks Washington or collapses. Global ripples hit everywhere. China loses 400,000 barrels per day, Venezuelan heavy crude lifeline. India. Refineries scramble, prices spike 5% overnight. Europe. Arctic routes reopen. U.S. LNG undercuts Russian gas. Venezuela's interim government gets the memo. Align with America or economic oblivion. Chevron expands. Exxon returns. Conoco collects billions. Shadow fleet ghosts scatter. Truth warriors. That's the tanker war corporate media sanitizes into diplomatic notes. Smash subscribe. L activated. Comment below. Does Russia counterattack or fold on Venezuela oil? The narrative uncovers what they desperately hide. Stay vigilant.